want to buy one, but mine won't catch on fire. Oh, no, yours won't catch on fire. Okay, well, here's my deposit. And they would buy stuff back then. It was great. Now, obviously, things have changed since then, so we've had to evolve with the times. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you how we go through the process of designing and building something, working with a client. Kind of use that to kind of work you through and show you the different parts of the shop. We're up in the office area here, obviously. My office is back there. Hey, guys. So what happens is, I'll take for instance, we have a project we're working on. We're doing a large animatronics school bus for children's hospital. It's part of an mobile educational display where they're teaching kids to stay away from strangers that would kidnap them, not run in the streets, obey the traffic signals and the bus signs and things like that. So they call up and they said, okay, I need a bus that has moving eyes and some eyebrows and a moving mouth. It's got to be full size. It's got to be able to set up in like 20 minutes. It's got to last like for an entire tour. We're going to go from school to school to school and all these different places. It's got to last like 3 years. You got to be able to, constantly keep it on the road. So it's got to last millions of repetitions. And I need it for, of course, it's a budget number that makes you kind of cry a little bit. So it's like, okay, let me see what I can do for you. So the first thing we do is over here in this area right there. That's where our art director works. And I sit down with him. Hey, Jared. I sit down with him and we kind of start working on the look of the character we're working on, in this case the school bus, because for the couple of talents I do have, art is not one of them. As a matter of fact, my claim to fame is something called Mr. Nutso, and the name is the only thing that's going for it, is this god-awful stick figure that a 4-year-old could have drawn better. I have just got not one artistic bone in my body. So I get together with the artist, we figure out what needs to be done. He does the concept, I make sure it's something realistically we can pull off. Once the client approves of it, likes the basic idea, the look of it, the basic function we give it, we go over here, a couple of desks over here, which is where our designer Ted works. And what happens is he starts putting everything into AutoCAD. And for the last like 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years, everything we do is designed in AutoCAD. We kind of hit that point where we couldn't design on the fly and design on paper anymore. And we kind of had to evolve with the times, which is great because it gave us the ability of doing things that we had never thought we could do before. Like the squids and the sharks and junk like that. As a matter of fact, the first shark we did, we attempted to do that without AutoCAD, and I would never do that again. It's horrible. There's a lot of like build it. You build something yourself. You build it, doesn't work. You fix it, you redo it. So we've kind of gotten to the point where, through 17 years of trial by fire, we kind of learned how to do things and do them relatively well, so they will hold together for a good long time. So what happens is Ted and the guys, they get the design work done mechanically to make sure it's going to last, a million plus actuations. We try to figure out how to do it within the client's budget, because obviously you can always find a tool for the job, but if it's a $7,000 tool and the whole project's only $12,000, you can't use it. So we figure all that out, and then if you see this area over here in the middle with the monitors and whatnot, that is our audio-video editing suite. And we do most everything in-house. The only things we don't do in-house is we don't make eyeballs and we don't make automation. We found 2 great companies to do that for us, and everything else we do ourselves. Reason for that is because A, if the client needs to make some changes, we can do them quicker. B, subcontractors cost more. And C, I get to keep my fingers in everything and make sure it's done the way I want. So when the client complains or doesn't like it or something or loves it, I get full credit. Or if they don't like it or something, hey, I take the heat. But at least then it's not going downhill. And at the far end of the room down there, you'll see a conference table. I'd like to tell you we have tons of great meetings up here with clients from all over the world. The reality is we do everything by phone and the internet with occasional meeting. Maybe about 3% of our time do we actually use that conference table. It's a conference table. The rest of the time, it's our lunch break room. And we typically watch movies. Right now, we are on Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Every day at lunch, we watch about 40 minutes of a movie, and then every 2 or 3 days, pop a new movie in. So I can tell you that we have high-level executive meetings over there. We don't. So anyway, at that point, we've basically got the basics of the character figured out. We know what it's going to look like, we know mechanically how it's going to work, what materials are going into it. We've designed our soundtracks and sound effects because we're recording, we bring our voice talent in, we do all that in-house. If there's video work, my art director, Matt, has a degree in film, and he does all our DVD work, he does any of our custom video work. So like when we did a motion simulator for a museum in Russia, we had to give the illusion that you're going up an elevator 160 stories to the top of this tower with a window where you look out and see St. Petersburg, Russia. Then the whole thing rotates, giving you a panoramic view of Russia until, in good haunted house fashion, the cables start snapping, and the whole thing plummets down, and of course you don't quite die, but good times had by all. So at that point, we've got all our basics figured out. So then at that point, we go downstairs, and so we'll head back down the stairs and go through the door at the right, show you how you take those concepts and the ideas and designs, put them together, and make a final product out. So if you guys head downstairs and go through the door to the right where you saw that planet Earth,